Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego, vai. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego, hein? Um sábado na balada, a galera começou a dançar e passou a menina mais linda. Tomei coragem e comecei a falar. Como é que é, vai? Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego, tema. Sábado na balada, a galera começou a dançar e passou a menina mais linda. Tomei coragem e comecei a falar. Nossa, nossa, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego, hein? Eu quero ouvir só vocês agora. Nossa,
assim você me mata.
ai, se eu te pego. Delícia, delícia, assim você me mata. Ai, se eu te pego, ai, ai, se eu te pego, hein? Que delícia, hein? Ai, se eu te pego.
Brazil is definitely very important for the global economy. Its sheer size, fifth largest economy in terms of population, fifth largest economy in terms of the geography, in terms of the land mass, sixth largest economy in terms of dollar GDP. From that standpoint, it's a systemic economy. It's a global economy of significant size. The last decade in Brazil has been truly remarkable. The economy experienced a period of rapid growth, and that was a combination of luck and disciplined policies. And by luck, I mean an external environment that was extremely favorable for countries like Brazil, a significant rally in commodity prices since 2003, a significant increase in cross-border capital flows, and Brazil, by pursuing disciplined, conventional policies, turned into a very attractive destination for foreign capital. The economic outlook for Brazil remains favorable. The economy continues to expand, even though macro policies need to be adjusted at the margin in order to lower inflation levels that are still relatively high, and also in order to prepare the economy to deal with an external environment that is potentially less friendly than what Brazil has seen over the last few years. In terms of what could impact the performance of Brazil over the next few years, I would mention commodity prices. Brazil is a large commodity exporter. Commodities are the major source of income, so a decline in commodity prices could affect the performance of Brazil. The second one is potential shock to the global economy that increases risk aversion and reduces the appetite for cross-border capital flows. Brazil still has a relatively low savings rate, still runs a current account deficit, so they need a fair amount of foreign savings or foreign capital in order to sustain economic growth.
Some key points to take away from a view from Brazil video is that in order for Brazil to go high into the level of economy, they need to invest in a lot more than what they're doing. Significant structure that leads to maximizing the economy to exceed the growth rate of 4%. Tax reform is still very high in Brazil, and they need to lower this to help them become better in the economy. The Social Security reform that they're currently going through will lead to higher domestic savings rate, which is something that will help Brazil out in the very long run.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome to the Oval Office my good friend, President Rousseff. This gives me an opportunity to return some of the extraordinary hospitality that I received when Michelle and our daughters and I had a chance to visit Brazil last year. We've made enormous progress since we last met on our bilateral relationship. Our trade and investment is reaching record levels, which creates jobs and business opportunities in both countries. We have seen an extraordinary expansion of people-to-people contacts, including an unprecedented exchange of students around math and science and technology, where President Rousseff has shown incredible leadership. We are announcing defense cooperation of the sorts that we have not seen in the past. And this meeting gives us an opportunity to also discuss a wide range of global issues, whether it's global economic growth, the situation in the Middle East.
Some key trading partnership facts, according to the White House press on April 9, 2012, is as follows. Two-way goods and services trade between the United States and Brazil has nearly tripled in the past decade to more than $100 billion in 2011. In the past 5 years, goods and services exported from the United States to Brazil more than doubled from $26.6 billion in 2006 to $62.7 billion in 2011. Since 2002, U.S. goods exports to Brazil have more than tripled, growing from $12.4 billion in 2002 to $42.9 billion in 2011. In 2011, U.S. goods exports to Brazil was up 21% from 2010. U.S. services exports to Brazil has also increased. In 2002 to 2011, U.S. services exports to Brazil more than tripled, increasing from $5.1 billion in 2002 to $19.9 billion in 2011. In 2010, these services included telecommunication services worth $2.1 billion, and businesses, professional, and technical services totaling $2.2 billion. In 2011, 1.5 billion Brazilians visited the United States, a 26% increase compared to 2010, and up about 400,000 in 2002. In 2011, Brazilians spent $6.8 billion on travel and tourism related to goods in the United States, up 148% from 2009. Leading in the 15 exporting states to Brazil from the United States are Texas, Florida, California, Illinois, Louisiana, Ohio, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, Georgia, Kentucky, Indiana, Virginia, Michigan, and North Carolina. Some strengthening ties through investment. Bilateral investment flows between Brazil and the United States support jobs, stimulate exports, and strengthen.
Eu queria dizer para vocês que foi muito importante encontrar hoje aqui com o presidente Obama depois do nosso encontro ano passado no Brasil.
I would like to say to all of you that this occasion has been very important for me to meet with President Obama following our meeting last year in Brasilia.
Aquele encontro foi muito importante na medida que também propiciou um contato com a primeira-dama Michelle e também com as crianças.
That first meeting in 2011 in Brasilia proved very important in that it provided us with an opportunity for contacts with the First Lady Michelle and also with the children.
Sobretudo, a relação entre o Brasil e os Estados Unidos é para o Brasil uma relação muito importante.
The U.S.-Brazil bilateral relations are, for Brazil, a very important relationship.
Tanto do ponto de vista bilateral quanto do ponto de vista multilateral.
Not only from a bilateral, but also from a multilateral perspective.
No que se refere ao aspecto bilateral,
as regards the bilateral dimension of our agenda,
o Brasil e os Estados Unidos têm crescentemente estreitado as suas relações comerciais.
Brazil and the United States have increasingly drawn closer ties in their trade links.
E, ao mesmo tempo, ampliado os investimentos recíprocos entre Brasil e Estados Unidos.
While at the same time expanding mutual investments.
O investimento brasileiro nos Estados Unidos, o investimento direto, já chega a 40% do total do investimento americano no Brasil.
Brazil's current investment level, direct investments in the United States, currently account for 40% of the overall investments made by the United States in Brazil.
Todas essas relações
All of these different fronts of our relationship
apresentam resultados muito importantes,
have posted very substantial outcomes.
mas ao mesmo tempo demonstram que nós estamos aquém das nossas possibilidades.
But they also show that we remain short of our potentialities.
Tanto o Brasil como os Estados Unidos têm áreas estratégicas nas quais cooperar.
Both Brazil and the United States of America have strategic areas in which we can cooperate.
Ou melhor, aprofundar a sua cooperação.
Or better said, where we can further deepen our existing cooperation.
Por exemplo, na área de energia,
Take the energy sector, for example.
nós temos um grande campo de cooperação quando se considera o petróleo e o gás.
Oil and gas pose a tremendous opportunity for further cooperation,
Tanto no que se refere a fornecimento de equipamentos e serviços,
both as regards the supply of equipment and provision of services,
tanto no que se refere à participação nas relações comerciais.
and also as regards a wider role in our trade relations.
Nós também somos parceiros na área de biocombustível.
Brazil and the United States are also partners in the biofuel arena.
E eu queria saudar aqui a redução das barreiras ao etanol ocorridas recentemente.
And I would like to welcome the recently announced reductions to ethanol tariffs.
Queria destacar também um grande espaço de cooperação na área de eficiência energética, que é tão caro ao presidente Obama.
The field of energy efficiency, which is so very dear to President Obama, is yet another area to be highlighted for cooperation.
E em energias renováveis.
And more particularly, renewable sources of energy.
E também na evolução tecnológica nessa área quando se trata de redes inteligentes.
And also technological evolution in the energy arena as regards the smart grids or networks.
Sem sombra de dúvida, outras áreas também são relevantes.
Without a shadow of a doubt, there are also other areas of equal relevance,
Eu queria destacar a área de ciência, tecnologia e inovação,
among which I would like to highlight the area of science, technology, and innovation,
nas quais tanto os empresários, quanto o mundo acadêmico, quanto os governos têm um papel de destaque.
an area in which both the business communities, the members of academia, and governments have a high-profile role to perform.
E aí é importante a participação no Ciência Sem Fronteira,
That is where our involvement in the Science Without Borders program is so very
de
important.
estudantes brasileiros vindo aqui para os Estados Unidos,
The program,
desenvolver sua parceria em universidades americanas,
the program,
tanto quanto estudantes como quanto pesquisadores.
the program benefits Brazilian researchers and students who are given the opportunity to come to the United States to develop and conduct their studies here.
Hello, I'm Ann Stock, Assistant Secretary of State. On behalf of President Barack Obama and Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton, welcome to the United States. President Dilma Rousseff's Science Without Borders Scholarship Program is an exciting, innovative opportunity. 650 of you will study at more than 100 American universities.
The reasoning behind the Education Entertainment is the Science Without Borders program, created by the current president, Dilma Rousseff, who is the first woman president of Brazil. By the end of 2015, there will be 100,000 plus Brazilians. 50% of their undergraduate students will have spent at least 1 year abroad studying in some of the major areas that they will be studying in is biotechnology, ocean science, and petroleum engineering. This would cost them about $1.65 billion, of which 25% would come from businesses and the rest from taxpayers. The reasoning behind this program is to have a substantial for the nation's future. Difficult to find well-qualified staff members in Brazil, and foreign universities plays an active role. 20,000 people in the U.S., 60,000 to 10,000 each in the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and Italy. Brazilians will pay full fees, and in
to increase international study. Together, by 2020, we hope to send 100,000 American students to Latin America and the Caribbean and vice versa. We're honored to welcome Brazil's first Science Without Borders students and researchers to the United States, and we'll welcome many, many more in the coming months and years. Congratulations and enjoy your time here.
There may be growing pains, but the growth has propelled so many people up the social and economic ladder that not too many in Brazil feel any nostalgia for the past.
8 years ago, we were, 65 million middle-class Brazilians. Today, we're 100 million Brazilians in the middle class. Imagine, by 2020, having a country with 150 million Brazilians in the middle class. It's a great consumer country.
According to Forbes, Brazil has been adding 19 millionaires per day since 2007. This takes all wealth into account with investments, property, savings, and other assets, plus cash. How do you ask? Because of stellar GDP growth and consumption rate, high executive and banking salaries that beat those in the United States, and the common for Brazilian investment bankers to make $539,000, while CEOs make on average $75,000. Brazil has 137 millionaires and 30 billionaires.
And a $1 trillion oil story, so you combine this with a gigantic agricultural potential, iron ore and other metals. It's really explosive.
In the new Brazil, he's literally a rock god. Chances are, if it comes out of the ground, this man has something to do with it, including a slice of major new offshore oil discoveries that will make Brazil one of the world's top producers.
According to Morel, he stated that there are many undercover deals like this going on right now, involving several industries and big payouts for acquiring company owners in Brazil. Also, according to other bankers, Brazil's booming real estate industries has also generated huge wealth, as the property values have doubled in recent years and are proposed to increase further, especially in Rio, as the city gears up to host the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 Olympics.
We have lots to do. We cannot miss the space now. This is something that we need to follow, every day, be very transparent, charge us ourselves, look forward to make the changes that the country needs. But it's a big problem with infrastructure and the social differences.
The economic rise has been fast, frenetic, but the economy is a bullet train, and much of the country still runs on the old single gauge. It's impossible to ignore the fact that Rio is still a divided place. The favelas, the old slums, topple from the hills and wedge right up against the glitzy neighbourhoods of the well-to-do.
It looms over the small shipbuilding town of Angra dos Reis, south of Rio de Janeiro, like something out of a sci-fi movie. This hulking mass of metal is known simply as P-51, And when it's finished, it will be one of the world's largest offshore oil platforms. Many here are convinced P-51 represents not just the future of oil exploration, but the future of Brazil.
The importance of P-51 is that it not only allows Brazil to maintain oil self-sufficiency, but it will allow Brazil to produce even more than that.
Recently, we, along with other journalists, paid a visit
Let me
to
important
P-51.
brief information
It's an
about
impressive
Petrobras.
site.
It is a
Main deck
publicly
is
traded
twice the size
corporation.
of a football
Majority
field.
of the stockholder
It
is
has
the
taken
Brazilian
nearly
government, and it was
5,000
founded
people to
in
build it.
1953.
Once at sea,
Their female
this
president
one
is
rig
Maria
alone
das
will
Graças
produce more
Silva
than
Foster, and it is
180,000
an energy
barrels of
company
oil
that deals with
a
exploration
day.
and production, refining,
P-51 was
oil and
built by
natural
Brazil's
gases,
state-controlled oil
biofuel,
company,
and
Petrobras.
other renewable energy
It is
sources
designed to drill
distribution.
for oil in deep ocean waters where smaller ones can't.
P-51 incorporates all of Petrobras's experience and innovations from 30 years of offshore exploration. P-51 is part of the evolution of Petrobras.
Much of the world's remaining oil lies deep under the sea, and Petrobras is going after it with religious fervor. They're drilling in waters off Africa, the Mideast, and even the United States. This is the company's map of the Gulf of Mexico. Each one of those red squares is a Petrobras site.
Continuing information about Petrobras, they are the leader in Brazilian oil industry, and they have their eyes set on being the top 5 in the world by 2020. They are present in 28 countries, including the United States, since 1987.
It's an enormous underwater field.
In the 2011-2015 business plan, they foresees investment of $224.7 billion.
Miles from the coast is the region we are talking about.
David Zilberstein is the former head of the government agency that oversees Brazil's petroleum industry. He says the Tupi discovery changed the balance of power in the world of oil overnight, catapulting Brazil from a second-tier player into the big leagues.
And how much oil do they think is there?
Well, the first numbers are about 12 to 15 billion barrels.
The Tupi discovery could mean that Brazil will become one of the world's leading oil exporters. But getting to it will be a challenge, even for the experts at Petrobras. Tupi's oil lies as far as 5 miles under the surface of the ocean, underneath layers of rock and salt. No one has ever gone that far down before. Nonetheless, Zilberstein says it's
Petrobras discovered the Tupi oil field in November of 2007. This was the largest discovery in the last 20 years worldwide. This increased Brazil's hydrocarbon by 50% for reserve. This is a complication though because it's beneath 2,000 to 3,000 meters of water, which is very, very expensive to drill, but it will also help put Brazil above the rest in the years to come. As of May 2008, Petrobras contracted 80% of the world's deep water rigs, allowing other major exporters like Mobil and BP to compete for the remaining 20%.
Today, the 10 largest holders of petroleum reserves in the world are state-run companies like Petrobras and Russia's Gazprom. The day after our tour of P-51, a very confident Petrobras president, Sergio Gabrielli, spoke with reporters.
There were times when they said it would be impossible to build the P-51 platform. Now, Petrobras is one of the largest companies in the world, not only in petroleum reserves, but in market value.
Gabrielli said the recent decline in the price of oil won't stop Petrobras from going after oil far out at sea. In fact, just last week, it began towing P-51 to its ocean home. Gabrielli told us his company will make money on its deep water operations, even if oil sells for only $35 a barrel. Others are not so sure. Oil expert David Zilberstein puts the break-even figure higher.
We need to have oil not less than, I would say, $50 to $60 per barrel.
That's right around where it is today. Soon, the green and yellow logo of Petrobras may become as familiar to the world as the Exxon Tiger.